going through with those textures and pre-drying to straighten hair with a bristle round brush is not for every hair texture. Certainly not the 4s, and I wouldn't use it for the 3s. Hey there. I have a great question. What is the best brush for my texture? That's a very generalized question, but it's a really important question and explanation to give, because I most often, when giving my consultations and someone comes in with their hair that looks a little compromised, and I'll go through their regimen with them, how it's done, who does it, which brush should they use, how did they straighten your hair. And these are usually women who are coming in who have heat damage and or their hairs broke off, and they go to the hair salon once a week or once every 2 weeks. And going to get your hair done, it's an oxymoron to have gone to have your hair cared for and have it tore up. So I'm going to show you which brushes are for which areas of styling and or care. Round brush, blow drying, round brush. This brush is not to be used for pre-drying or blowing out kinky 4 textures and or kinky curly 3C. This requires too much tension, heat needed to stretch out those tightly wound, coarser, drier textures. It's always better to pre-dry those textures with a reasonable amount of heat and a comb attachment, something that's more applicable to those textures for detangling. I never use a brush to detangle. I use conditioner in my fingers to detangle, because I really believe in caring for the hair like it's your favorite cashmere sweater, and you should never be breaking the hair under any circumstances. And so going through with those textures and pre-drying to straighten hair with a bristle round brush is not for every hair texture. Certainly not the 4s, and I wouldn't use it for the 3s because of the amount of tension and heat needed from the blow dryer with the nozzle is too intense. Then generally those same textures where hairstylists are blow drying those textures out using way too much tension and way too much heat are then going in and flat ironing. So it's just too intense and too severe of an approach to enhancing those textures to go straight. So stay away from these if you're blow drying hair or you're going to have your hair blow dry. The more education and the more knowledge you have about stepping into any salon or seeing any stylist for the first time is how you would like your hair done. Certainly for those textures, again, a blow dryer with a comb attachment, pre-drying with just enough leave-in conditioner and or some type of heat protectant is best, because that heat protectant and that leave-in moisturizer is what will help to break down the hair. The leave-in moisturizer or heat protectant is the one that's softening the hair, and you're not burning out the hair, your natural hair's natural moisture. You're retaining it. And the ideal is to have a beautiful head of healthy, kinky, curly hair so that you can wear your hair however you choose without heat damage. So, and without breaking your hair. These brushes, flat brushes or Denman brushes, bristle brushes, are brushes that are best used for detangling while wet, if you so need to, or if you're brushing out a set. I don't use these brushes except to distribute either product. I've also seen hairstylists use these brushes to pre-straighten hair with what I use as a comb attachment. Other hairdressers use paddle brushes and or Denman brushes to straighten hair with a blow dryer. I tend to think that this is safer. I don't really, and I think this is easier than this. It's just too much work. I also use techniques in blow drying or straightening hair that my clients can go home and achieve the same thing. And so I give them, make sure that they have, I do techniques that they can also achieve on their own. And this oftentimes is just too difficult for a woman with a blow dryer who may be dexterity challenged. I hope that makes sense. This Mason Pearson brush, also a bristle brush, should be used on dry hair and or straight or wavy textures. Straight or wavy textures, this brush should be used only for dry styling, or unless you have straighter or wavier or super fine and or medium soft curly hair. This is a great brush for blowing out a set and or a set with a flat iron, because to blow dry out from wet to dry on kinkier, curlier textures with this brush is not advisable, because it's too much heat and tension that you will need from wet to dry to for this brush to really do anything. So this brush is more of a superficial styling to release a curl pattern for blowing out and achieving full voluminous hair that has body and wave and curl to it. This brush is for distributing product and or keratin treatments and or color. This brush has been known to be used for distributing product for curly styling. I've seen it being done on wet hair. I really don't use this brush. I love this brush, but I don't use it for my wash and goes to stretch out hair. I take advantage of the amount of wetness and or conditioner in the hair to help me to achieve what my fingers and hands can do, than relying on this. So again, you have to be careful with how you use these brushes, because they can create damage and or break hair, and you really don't want to wreck through the hair with a brush like this unless you're being super careful and there's enough product that's helping to lubricate, elongate, and stretch out and individualize each one of those strands. Making sure that you keep bristle brushes away, again, from wet, kinky, curly textures that you're blow drying. These are for styling or straighter or wavier textures. I hope this makes sense. It's really the type of bristle and or brushes that are more applicable to styling based off of texture. If you have any more questions, hit the comments. Thank you. So if you like these videos, I hope that you click like and subscribe and go to hairrules.com for further education and find a regimen and products that are specific to your hair texture, not someone else's. And so every day can be a great hair day. And yeah, see you soon.